Hello, this is Gray Hughes again. I missed my music, so I put it back in for this video. I'm sorry if that offends you. This video today will be about the watch, the temperature in the freezer, and the mysterious hallway in the upper kitchen that Straight Drop mentioned. Let's go take a look. Okay. All right, let's just get started on the watch portion. Many of you have seen, I actually made a video about 5 weeks ago on the watch, but apparently people missed that one, so we're gonna talk about part of that again. All right. So in this portion of the video I made the other day, showing Miss Martin's, her having to go visit her child in the freezer area. I guess you call it the kosher kitchen, upper kitchen. All right, let's just go back a little bit here. So if you notice right here, the younger of the two funeral home guys has the watch, the hairband, and the belly button ring in a plastic bag. And he hands it to what appears to be a police tech person. He doesn't seem to be, he might be like one of the evidence gatherers, because he doesn't have, the typical outfit on that the other officers have. And he seems to be handling evidence when I've seen him in different images. All right, so here's the funeral home guy, and he lays down the 3 items on the brushed metal counter there. And you can see this tech using his high-tech cell phone took a picture of those 3 items. All right, now the tall officer, the one that was leading Miss Martin around, is next to him right there, this guy. And he also takes a picture, and I suspect he's the one that took this picture right here. All right, so let's just go back 1 second here. Now look how accurate this documentation is. It says, obtained from Evanston Funeral Home at 4:57 a.m. Okay? Well, look what time it is, 4:57 right here. And then after this officer takes a picture, the funeral home, he seems to be the funeral home guy here. I don't know if I think he's the actual head guy, and the other guy's the assistant. Because when I've called the funeral home, I've talked to this guy. All right, so right there, he puts the items in the bag, all 3 of them, and hands them to this guy, and it's still in the 4:57 time frame. All right, so they walk out, and both of them head off to go get Miss Martin. All right, and here she comes back. Right here. So as they bring her back into this area, the tall officer hands her that bag with those 3 items in it. And she puts that into her pocket. All right. So after he puts that in their pocket, they go into the kitchen and so forth. And, show her what happened and show her Kanika, and then, she leaves, and then leaves the hotel after that. If you watch my video from yesterday, you'd see that. Okay, so here is the image, a higher definition image. I actually downloaded the folder off of Rosemont, and for some reason, this wasn't in there the first time I did it. I probably did it incorrectly, but now I have the clear image, and see they have the dark band here, and the darker wrist, I guess it was on her wrist, but let's just call it wristband, okay, to save time. Wristband and belly button ring. All right, but if you notice, it's darker because they didn't use a flash, all right? This light right here is from the ceiling, and their phone didn't put enough light onto these images to make them look the natural color. And the natural color, well, first let's look at this. See this? This is the actual face of that watch on Google. So it's actually lips right there. All right. I didn't realize that. I thought that was a heart earlier. Okay, but here's a blinked left eye and an open right eye. All right. Now, this image is too blurry for me to prove or disprove what Ali was saying about it being a minute later. Because if you look right there, there's the eyelid that you see in this image. And this second hand here is almost exactly where the minute hand is in the image when it's on her wrist right there. You see that? So it's hard to tell. It really is. When you look at this, if you notice the eyelashes, this is right at the bottom of that. This is right at the bottom of that. And it sort of looks like that's at the bottom of it because I don't see anything coming out below. So it looks like the same time to me, you know, but to me it doesn't matter what the time says on the watch. Nobody's claiming there was some incident that happened, you know, let's say that is something happened and it stopped at 9:15. Well, that would be literally, she went in there at 3, it would be 6 hours later or 18 hours later when she went into the freezer. All right, so I don't know. It just doesn't seem relevant at all. If you can come up with a relevant reason, let me know. I'm sure there'll be 16 videos popping out. All right, now here's something though to look at. Here's the watch filmed with a flash in the freezer when Kanika was still in there on the ground. All right, now here's the belly button ring. And the belly button ring is upside down because there's blue stones underneath there. Which are right there. Now notice the color here. This is what the coloring is supposed to look like. And you can tell a flash was used on this image right here. Okay, look at the bright shine all around right there. All right. So this color and this color match this color and this color. You know, the gray is a little, you know, different settings on different cameras. But there you go. This one and this one. And this is an image that Miss Martin just put out today. Okay, so if the police were really being nefarious and they replaced this band, why did they give her back the original? Wouldn't they have just sort of thrown that away and nobody had ever seen it again? No, that's not what they did. And that's not what happened. The image was taken and these look darker because of the lighting and the cameras used. All right, so this image and this image are very close. All right, that's just another shot of that same watch. But that looks like the same. See that color right there? That's the same color, and I think that's the gray tone. This one just has more light on it, so it has a different look, you know. Now you're going to say, wow, they had 3 different watch bands. Well, explain to me why they would do that as well. I'm sure there's all kinds of reasons. All right, so let's take a look at this. This is the part about where Straight Drop says there is a hallway back in the upper kitchen. Now watch, here's the Faro scan. Let's watch this again. Now remember, he said that this pink stuff right here was them hiding a hallway. Okay, but let's go back a little bit. Notice how there's pink stuff here. These Faro scans aren't absolutely perfect, right? But they get a real, you know, a viewable model of the room, and nothing's perfect, but it's dimensionally correct. All right. So you go back here. Now look, here's a image that was on the Rosemont site that was given to me by one of my YouTube subscribers. And look at this. Absolutely debunks Straight Drop just with this image. So let's just stop it right here. See this? That's this. The little wire going down, that's right there. If you don't believe that, I'll move it back a little bit. Right there. There's the wire going down. All right. Now, this electrical, I guess, breaker boards here, this one's open. So, and this one, if that was open, it would look just like that. But see the red sign there. That's right there. Now look at this. That is exactly this. This is this. This floorboard there is right there. Everything's the same. And now let's just keep looking at this. Can anybody see any way there could be a hallway in this area? Are you saying that the width of one or two of these tiles, which would make up that little corner there, is enough to make a secret little hallway where somebody just sort of shimmies through there? Straight drop, straight drop, straight drop. Come on, straight drop, straight drop. Hughes, Hughes, Hughes. I bet he said my name Hughes 1,500 times in that, 15-minute video that he made. It was incredible. All right. So let's also take a look at, let's see. I was going to show you guys some of these other images here. This is for the cooler. All right. Now this was interesting. I hadn't seen these as well. Now the cooler is R95. Now this is that same cooler that Kanika went in. All right. And then forward in there to the left is R94, which is the freezer. So this is the temperature of the cooler on 9/17/17. So literally, like a week after Kanika was found, they, I would imagine they shut the doors and let everything cool down to the temperature it would have been at the time she went in there. And if you look at that, it says 10 degrees. So that one's 22 degrees below freezing in the actual freezer back there. And the cooler is 44 degrees. So, I imagine if she hadn't actually gone into that freezer, she might have actually survived until somebody found her, although she would be suffering from hypothermia anyways. Because that's, 44 degrees with no time of ever warming up. And I think it was even cooler, they were saying. But here's another image. Let me rotate around. Wow. Yeah, so it looks like even later it got down to 8. All right, in that same freezer. Cooler. Yeah, freezer is what I meant. R94. Yeah, so in that one it's 24 degrees below freezing. So, these are things that everyone always brings up. Well, it didn't ever even get that cold in there. Yes, it did. This is how cold it normally is. It might even be able to get cooler than that. Because we did see it drop from 10 to 8 right there, and I don't see any updates to that, but 0 degrees is supposedly typical. All right. So I hope that this information has cleared up a few of the things out there. That the freezer was actually really cold. That the watch band is the right watch band. And there is no hallway back in the area where the cooler and freezer are, as claimed by Straight Drop. All right, so until next time, I will talk to you later.